1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 Cut Commandments, what?
What up, world? It's your boy. It's your boss, Zoe Mega Millions. I got to change that.
Your boss.
I'm sitting here with someone I consider a friend and admire, a fellow barber, and you could call a celebrity barber. You know, I know people don't like to use that terminology, but you do take care of some celebrities.
A few of my time.
Yeah. Faheem Alexander AKA Fa the Barber. Welcome to Barber World TV, brother.
Thank you for having me, Kamal. I'm honored, and privileged to visit. The studio, man. This is great, man. I just thought you just cut hair and own barbershops. You got a studio with all this great equipment, and I'm inspired because I just, bought my property that my barbershop is in Philadelphia.
Congratulations,
and
brother.
This is something that I would love to do, studio podcast. So, I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up.
No question.
Some ideas, this is great. So I can learn how to use all this cool equipment, man.
Yeah, it's pretty simple. It ain't too bad.
You got the tablets. Just put it together. Well, you're the guy.
No doubt.
I know what to spend.
Yeah.
How much in the budget to make it happen.
Yeah.
But this is something ideal that I would love to have because I got a huge basement, almost 2,000 square feet. So
oh yeah.
You
could do a couple studios down there.
Exactly.
So tell the people out there in Barber World how you began in the industry.
Pretty much how I began, like any other African-American young man from the inner city. I started in grandma's house.
Wow. Okay.
Cut my uncles, my grandfather, cut people on my block, cutting hair. I learned from, one of my guys, one of my friends I grew up with, his name was Steve, and his grandmother was like a stylist, and she had a shop in the basement, of her home, maybe 4, 5, 6 doors from me.
Right.
So we would always go down there and just kick it, and my like I said, my boy Steve was cutting everybody hair on the block, so I kind of got the idea, from him.
How did you get your first tools? What was your first?
My first set of tools, I'm gonna tell you how it was. Just messing around with my uncle's clippers in his drawer, taking them, experiment with them, cutting hair. He wasn't using them,
right?
So I used his, and he got mad and stuff like that. So I asked my mother to, around the time, because I was brought up in a Christian household.
Okay.
So around that time, Christmas in 1990, I asked my mother, just buy me a pair of clippers, Mom, and I'll take care of us, for the rest of our life.
Wow.
I really meant that, and I told her that.
Wow.
You ain't gotta buy me nothing, Mom. I'm gonna do it,
right? Because
I see what I like, and I'm determined. I'm gonna get it done.
Dope.
You talking? What's this? 2018.
Wow.
28, 29 years ago now.
Right.
So I've been at it.
Who was maybe your mentor?
My mentor is named Jazz, from Philadelphia. He was the barber in the neighborhood in South Philadelphia, in the 80s.
Right.
He was the fly guy. 85, 86.
With a name like Jazz, he got to be fly.
Jazzy, right? His brother actually was a DJ.
Uh-huh.
His name was Caesar, and he would frequent. I never seen him, but he died. Early on. I think he had a seizure or something like that.
Wow.
But he was really popular in the DJ circuit in the 80s, and
right.
He would frequent. Coming to New York. Back and forth, and he always seen the fly cuts that New York had.
Uh-huh.
So he would come back to Philly because he's from Philadelphia. And,
right.
My younger brother. He's a barber. He's up and coming barber. So the box haircut, was first seen in New York City.
New York. You know what's funny that you say that? Because how I kind of remember it that is Philly and New York always kind of been neck and neck.
Yeah, on the barber side
EST
of things.
and them dudes had the Gumby and
that's my guy.
So I always saw them to be kind of neck and neck, but you're saying that he came back with a little flavor from New York.
Yeah, a little flavor from New York. The box haircut. And he kind of freaked it and made it stand up straight, kind of fly. That's the first time I've seen it. This is before Kid and Play.
Right.
So, I seen the box haircut.
Right.
So, all the gangsters and the hustlers, they wore the taper.
Yeah.
But that box haircut was just signature.
Yeah. In the late 80s, that's definitely all I was doing all day when I started the shop.
Yeah, that was a time, the fly haircut. Now in the 90s, when I started haircut, everybody started rounding it off.
Yeah.
To like, you know, like
That blowout.
A blowout,
Yeah.
or cone shape.
Right.
You know, you get the taper on the sides and,
Right.
you know, somebody get like a cool part with designs or something like that.
Right.
But that fade became influential, you know, with that
doubt.
type of style, that type of haircut.
And Philly also, I remember some years ago, like I opened up a shop in Brooklyn on Fulton. It was like 18 years ago. It was about a little bit after 2000. I mean, it was 2000 or 2001.
Okay.
And a brother named Black Ice.
Black Ice, that's Gerald.
Jamal. No,
It's Gerald. It's Gerald.
okay.
Black Ice, that's the brother that does the
Poetry.
Oh, no. I got you. That's a light-skinned brother.
No, he's brown skin, but
Brown
he
skin
does poetry. His name was
Black Ice.
Lamar, and he was on Def Poetry Jam and all that.
He's from Philly.
Yeah, he's
I thought
from
it was a
Philly.
light-skinned brother. I do
No, he's
remember.
not light skinned.
He's a brown
He
skin
came
brother.
to my shop,
Go ahead.
and he did an interview,
Got you.
and he did a cold blowout. You know what I'm saying? And
I think I know you're talking about Jamal. Slim brother.
yes, very slim.
Slim. Yeah. He is dope. I don't know where he's at now.
The Philadelphia cutting, what's it called?
Philadelphia Hair Company.
Yeah, he worked there.
But I think I know what Jamal you're talking about.
Right.
He's a did he do Bahamadia hair? Was that
I don't know who he did when he was there, but when he came, and his skill level was up there. You know what I mean?
is one Jamal? This is the 90s, right?
I think his name was Lamar.
Lamar?
Lamar.
Oh, I don't know. I know it's a Jamal
Yeah.
that was really good with
I
the
think it's Lamar.
blowouts. And I know he did Bahamadia hair.
Okay. No, this dude was a poet. He went
a
on
poet.
to get on to
He didn't cut hair.
Yes, he did.
Oh, wow.
He went on to be on Def Poetry Jam and all of that. What I'm saying that to say is that I was impressed with his skill level from Philly. I was like, wow, niggas catches cold in Philly.
Oh yeah, Philly is vicious.
And
Philly
he's like one of the first persons that showed us the beard wax and the,
that was real
the
popular.
Beijing.
Now
and
the
all
Philadelphia, this is before that. The Beijing, they had like the Miss Clairol, different colors, the developer and stuff
Right.
like that, and the wax, the clubman and the tube.
Right, that's
So
what he showed us.
Philadelphia Hair Company, the owner and operator of that, his
Right.
name is Mark Lightfoot.
Okay, Lightfoot,
And
yeah,
Lightfoot.
that name. Okay,
And he was very influential in the late 80s,
Right.
early 90s with the barbershop scene in Philadelphia.
okay.
And they're located in Germantown, section
Okay.
of Philadelphia, like northwest of
Right.
South Philly from where I'm from. And that's one place that I always heard of.
right,
And when I was young, when I first learned how to drive and stuff like that,
right,
I definitely ventured outside of South Philadelphia. And that's one place I did go to
right,
see who is Mark Lightfoot.
right.
Because how I grown to know his name, he used to cut off Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh,
Randall
okay.
Cunningham.
Right.
When Randall Cunningham was cutting his hair,
Right.
and Jerome Brown and all the type guys
Okay.
in the early 90s.
So tell me about, that meeting him and seeing what he could do. Just let me know, like, wow, like competition is tough in Philly for barbers.
It's very tough.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, people always now, like with social media, people always say Philadelphia got the best barbers. Always, no knock on New York and nobody else,
Right.
but they always say Philadelphia got the best barbers. I believe Philly is like an artistic town,
Right.
especially preferably for people of color, African Americans. And if your woman love grooming, because
Right.
there's a lot of stylists, and the barbers kind of pick it up
Right.
from the beauticians back in the day, because remember, okay, I never knew Teddy Pendergrass, never knew him,
Right.
but he had the beard.
Yeah, he kept his bitch.
His beard in the 70s, and it was clean, it was sharp, and,
Right.
and he was one of the first guys, and he was a singer.
Right.
So he had that beard. Of course, he had all the women too.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean. The beard was always powerful, man. Always powerful.
He's notorious for getting panties thrown on the stage.
Yeah, man. He's big time, man. God bless him. God bless the dead. Bless his soul.
So tell me a little bit the difference between, because I hear that, but I can't picture it, like North and South Philly. Like, what's the difference in
Only thing difference is okay. If you're in Philly, so you got William Penn, City Hall.
Okay.
Dead smack middle of the city.
Okay.
Is on the south side, the north side,
Right.
and you can look west, like going towards West Philadelphia.
Okay.
So ain't no difference. Is sold the same drugs. You know what I mean? You had dudes, women would mess with guys from South Philly.
Right.
And vice versa.
Right.
Then, North Philly is more broader. It's bigger.
Right.
Because it stretches out, Germantown, small sections, Logan,
Right.
Uptown, it stretches out.
Right.
North Philadelphia is way bigger than South Philadelphia. South Philadelphia is small.
Okay.
It stretched from, give or take, you got the Schuylkill River, and you got the Delaware River. It's like
right. So it's kind of like Spanish Harlem,
right?
And West Harlem.
Exactly. So South Philly is from front all the way to 34th Street. So
right.
it's like 34 blocks.
Right.
But we have like small secondary blocks, and we go from Patterson to Center City, downtown.
So education wise, I know in New York you can work as an apprentice for 2 years.
Yes.
And then you can go and take your test for your master's, or you can go to school for 515 hours.
Right. So
how is it like in Philly?
In Pennsylvania, we are required, you have to have 1,250 hours.
Okay.
So you can get your license under apprentice.
Right.
I guess 3 to 9 months.
Okay.
That's the route that I went. So I didn't go to barber school.
Okay. You worked under a master.
I worked under a master barber. So it's pretty nice, like Jay-Z, one take. So,
right.
I learned everything that you guys see me do, I learned in the barbershop.
Nice.
Experimenting and just taking a chance. I took a chance.
Okay. And how did you venture out and open your own location? What's the name of your shop again?
The name of my shop is Faheem's Hands of Precision.
Right.
We're located.
Why the name, and when did you put it together?
Okay, I'm gonna just tell you the name. The name Faheem, is Islamic, and it means wisdom. It means wise. So coming up, I was the young man that was always wise and careful with what I did through life.
Right.
So I just kept that, and when I got into barbering, that's kind of propelled the name. Then I started to work with the Roots. I get fame from that, and Black Thought, and I'm responsible, for his look with his beard.
Right.
Made that widely popular in pop culture. With
Right.
him.
Right.
Because like I said, you had Teddy Pendergrass.
Right.
So right after him, Black Thought, his beard. So
yeah. So what is it? Is it because of the culture of the Muslim?
Yeah, it's
lifestyle culture.
It's just Islamic faith. Islamic faith
that pushed the beard.
Push the beard.
Okay.
Especially in Philadelphia, we have a large Islamic community.
Right.
So beard, symbolize great from mythology time.
Mm-hmm.
You see, like the kings and the pharaohs always had their beards.
Right.
So I guess it's just like you put 2 and 2 together.
Mm-hmm.
Pop culture, Greek mythology.
Right.
Samson had a beard.
Yeah, that's probably all Greek mythology.
Yeah.
From Egyptian. Egyptian.
With African Americans, I know, right? With African Americans, our beards just grow thick.
Right.
Grow thick
and we look weird. We also struggle with the ingrown hair.
Yes.
And it's comfortable and it's healthy to wear your beard.
To wear your
as
beard,
a black
African
man,
Americans.
You know what I mean?
Plus the women, they love.
Yeah.
It's very attractive.
Yeah, it's manly too.
It's manly. Yeah. Especially everywhere I go, out of town, places like that, like people, they know I'm from Philadelphia.
Right,
My beard, and they say, hey, your beard is always sharp.
And I think y'all had a big influence on everybody else doing the Beijing dye, everybody else wearing the beards. Like,
right.
Y'all definitely had influence in the industry, especially when it moved from neighborhood to social media, where everybody can see what everyone is doing all over the country, all over the world.
I'm gonna tell you something with that. Solid Gold magazine.
Yeah.
Carlos Payne.
Shout out to Los.
Los is the man.
Yes, he is.
He was the first social media.
Yeah.
For a lot of us that cut hair.
Yeah.
So he had his magazine. So back in the the 90s, he figured it out.
Yeah.
Instead of buying Ebony and Jet magazine, I'm gonna start my own. So he started his own.
Right.
So around this time, of course, the neighborhoods were popping.
Right.
With the drug business. So
right.
All the guys that sold drugs, they had shops.
Right.
And put the finest talent in their shops.
Right.
So Carlos would go around and he would kind of like get the shops
right.
to get in his magazine.
Right.
You
paid for a page.
You paid for a page. And this time was like $3-4 grand a page.
Wow.
And like he really did it strong. Like he really did it
Right.
big time.
Right.
I mean, he's legendary for that.
Yes, he is.
And
we're gonna have him on.
yeah, you got to have him on. Then he had volumes of books,
Right.
of barbering.
Right.
Now, mind you, this is before he started distribution.
Right.
So these books would be at the hair shows, the large hair shows.
Right.
So it wasn't no social media. So you didn't see
Right.
no haircuts until you seen his book.
Right.
Excuse me. And he had all the top-notch Philly barbers in his book.
Right.
So if that book ventured down south, ventured up New York, ventured to the West Coast, it made it there.
Right.
These places.
No question.
And we would get calls from people. Yo, I'm looking at page 125
Right.
and I see your shop. How did you do that point?
Right.
They're asking these questions. How
Same
did you-
thing you would get on social media.
Social
these
media,
days.
right. How did you do that fade? Like what clippers, like people wanted to know
Right.
information back in the 90s. This is the 1990s.
Right.
Solid Gold magazine. I would get calls
Right.
from people.
Shout out to Carlos.
Yeah, man. Like Carlos is big time. And still to the day, you'll get a loyal person that follow you will screenshot that page and put that page on social media.
Throwback Thursdays.
Here
like
we
today.
go. Exactly.
So you opened your shop what year?
I opened my shop in 1999.
1999.
So I came from my mentor, Jazz, from 1999 to current. Like I'm still rocking and rolling.
Dope. So where's your current shop located?
My current shop is at 20th and Snyder Avenue in South Philadelphia.
South Philadelphia.
Yes.
Okay. So let's move on to your relationship with Black Thought and the Roots.
Right.
Like, how did that come about?
That's pretty much, that's God. You know, I mean, I asked God for an opportunity and, he's seen the fit.
Right.
And, I've been rocking and rolling with them for the last 21 years.
Yeah, I noticed that because my boy used to work at the first label they were on. Geffen, right. My boy Eric Beasley, he's down with smacking them. That's his thing.
Yeah.
But I
You know
remember.
Smack?
Yeah, I don't know Smack, but I know his partner Eric Beasley.
Oh, not Smack that do the airbrushing. Is that
No, Smack the battle DVD. The
Oh,
battle.
Smack DVD. Yeah.
So my boy Eric Beasley,
Gotcha.
I remember he gave me their first release, and I like their earliest works.
My
man.
earlier work was,
Yeah.
was smashing.
It was very creative. And what was the other kid that he had in the group?
was it Malik B?
Malik B. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
Malik
too
B was
bad
very
that
good, you know.
they didn't stay together.
Yeah,
'cause
just
the talent was great.
Just the trials and tribulations in life.
Yeah.
Like a lot of us family members, fall victim to drugs.
right.
And drugs is just terrible.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I know.
Terrible talent that was just lost through
Right.
drugs. He's still living,
Yeah.
he's still coping, still fighting.
Yeah.
But he'll brighten your eyes when you see him though.
Right. So you met him
And
before he was the Roots, or
No. After,
Okay.
This is around about their second album.
Okay.
I met him, Illadel Half-Life.
Right.
And a friend of mine actually that was still in the neighborhood at the time was real cool with him. Air Smooth, Sean White.
Okay.
Rest in peace to Air Smooth. And they just were out and about, hanging out in 97.
Right.
And business cards. This was on business cards, and I always invested in myself.
Right.
Always bought photo business cards. Always just top notch, just representing myself, representing me as a brand early on.
I see you got your shirt on.
Think big, representing me as a brand. So I just gave him my business card. Hey man, he had dreadlocks at the time.
Yeah.
And I seen his beard. I was like, hey man, this is my card.
Right.
And he came through the next day.
And he stuck with you ever
He
since.
stuck with me ever since. And
That's dope. And his beard has always stood out as, it was always well kept, looked healthy, and it was always sharp.
right. Just me. It was me behind that.
Yeah. I
Me
mean,
just- me
you got a
sharp.
legendary beard in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So-
But that's my guy though. So
And now you just came from Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon show. Yes.
So tell us about that.
Jimmy Fallon experience is awesome. I've been working there for 10 years now. 10 years. 10 years be next year.
Wow. 10
When they
years.
first got the gig.
Right.
Tariq Black Thought. He just brought me in. I just winged it from there.
Right.
And,
So you go down once a week to take care of them? Or
Yeah, I go down once a week to take care of them.
Keep them looking
Keep
sharp.
them sharp. you met them all. I met a lot of people.
Right,
you know,
right.
just through the Fallon show. And
Did that lead to
cutting hair.
other celebrities?
Businesses. Yeah, it did. You know,
like
I did Tracy Morgan for a minute.
right.
You know, I did, you know, Ross a couple times. I was doing Jay Farrow.
Right.
A bunch of the staff at the gig. And,
Right.
you know, just people of just all culture. Like, hey, you know what I mean? Can I get a cut? Can I get a shape up? I mean, it was just so crazy inside of Rockefeller Plaza.
Right.
Like, yo,
right.
we got a barber inside of it.
Right. I'm sure everybody tries to
Right,
slide
so-
in the
right,
chair.
exactly. So,
How do you charge them?
I mean,
Is
I
it a
can't-
flat rate, or do you say,
I mean, listen,
man,
man.
these are $100, $500 cuts
I
right
really
here.
don't even do that.
Okay.
I'll be like,
You just hook them up?
Just hook them up, man. Some people just get like $40,
Right.
$20.
That's more like a tip, right?
Tip. Like, I take it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because my eyes is like, I got this on lock.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, I take it. Like when I first met Jay Farrow, when he first got the gig at Saturday Night Live,
Right.
he came to me. It was like, you know, people were telling me he was in the building. He was in the building. We got this new kid. Sound like Eddie Murphy.
Right.
He do all these impersonations. I'm
Right.
like, damn. So when I first met him, he was like, man, I got $24 in my pocket, man. I got to take my headshots. So I was like, man, give me that, man. I'll take it.
Yeah.
You know, I'm looking at bigger and better things down the
No
line.
question,
You
no
know
question.
what I'm saying? So I'm like, man, listen, I'm from the hood just like you, man.
That's right.
Give me that $24.
That's
man.
right.
So, you know, it just led to, you know, a good friendship. Now, Jay Farrow, you know, he finished the Saturday Night Live run. He was only like
Right.
5 or 6 seasons.
Yeah.
You know, he's on to doing bigger and better things now.
Yeah, he got that HBO show
HBO
now.
specials and
Yeah,
all that stuff. And we're still friends, man. And, you know, we still call him up on the phone. He's still answering like it ain't nothing.
Dope. So yeah, so we were talking about additional maybe celebrities that you got to cut because of the Jay Fallon show.
Yeah,
I mean,
working Jimmy Fallon show,
yeah.
you know, it's pretty much like in the neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you hot, everybody wants to come to you. So, you know, I'm pretty much this is something new for Rockefeller Plaza.
Right,
You know?
and I think sometimes you see, like I know on a lot of sets sometimes, they got people that are in the unions and so on.
Right, exactly.
But they can't necessarily cut ethnic hair.
At all, no.
So those guys feel, and you know, they got all the connects and the juice, so they're there. But you know, there's some people that we train, you know, because they can't cut the ethnic hair.
Nah, I actually did a class for a group of stylists
Right.
one time at Rockefeller Plaza.
Right,
You know, they knew that I cut, shape up, I used a
Right.
razor.
right,
Now in the school, a lot of them go to cosmetology school.
Exactly.
So they don't go to barbering school.
Exactly.
So a lot of the skill set that I had, they wanted to learn.
of course.
So, you know, they paid me like $250, $300 a head to teach them,
Right,
you know, advanced training that they wasn't getting.
no doubt.
So, you know, I went and did it. I got a homie out here in Brooklyn, Meatloaf. You might know Meatloaf.
Yeah, I know Meatloaf.
He drive a crazy motorcycle. Yeah, that's my guy.
Shout out. Yeah.
It's my twin. We look alike.
Yeah.
So he let me use his shop, and you know,
Right.
I did like maybe like 6 or 7
Dope.
individuals. You know,
Uh-huh.
they were union based stylists,
Right.
that wanted to learn barbering skills, and I taught them
Yeah.
right there on the spot. You know, and you know, they invested in themselves.
Yeah, I got one in our apprentice program right now.
Okay.
So let's move forward to
Go.
Bevel. 3
Bevel's
years
dope.
ago, I saw you at the BarberCon, and you was like one of the first guys I saw connected with Bevel. You was there at the booth and whatnot. So how'd that come about?
How that came about? That came about through what's my guy name used to play for the Eagles? I can't think of my guy name. He was a wide receiver. Dang.
I'm not a football guy.
I know.
I
I
can't
can't
help you.
think of my man name.
Basketball, maybe I can
That's
help
my
you.
guy. I can't think of his name for nothing. He played for the Jets.
Okay, so it was a
Man,
professional,
he's a professional football player.
Okay,
He gonna hurt me for this. Yeah, I can't. Even
it'll
get
come
his-
later.
Yeah. Well, anyway, smooth brother, man, that played for who he's playing for Buffalo. He was playing for Buffalo. Then he got traded to the Eagles.
Okay.
My man out in some Pittsburgh, Ohio area. That's where they from.
Right.
He gonna kill me, man. I can't think of his name, man. This is my guy, man. This is my guy. Can't think of his name. Anyway, he hit me up because I was cutting his hair.
Right.
Because my guy from Ohio, Keelan. Keelan's real dope.
Okay.
Him and Keelan, they grew up together.
Okay.
Same neighborhood, Ohio.
So it was a referral.
It was a referral
Okay.
when he came to Philly.
Right.
And, you know, he started coming to me, to get his cut. So he hit me up one day. He said, "Yo, is it cool if I come past the barbershop, take some pictures, and for this interview I'm doing for this grooming product called Bevel?" So I'm like, yeah, like I'm cool with that, man. I'm cool, like come through. So he came and they brought all their business people and stuff like that. This is before I even heard of Tristan Walker. Right. So the relationship just left from him. Right. And like I said, he hooked me up with them, connected me with them. Right. It's like 6 years maybe. Yeah, time flies. They've been rocking and rolling. So I had a couple gigs with them, and last year I did some clipper testing for them because they brought their trimmer out. Right. And they kind of like it was lacking in a couple areas. As far as the mechanics on the clippers. So I wanted the guys in the barber industry that's really known for shape ups. Right. So I'm influential in that. Brad Smith is his name. I'm sorry. Brad Smith. Okay. That's my guy. I'm sorry, Brad, if you hear this interview, man. Yeah, my guy Brad Smith. Okay. Brad Smith played for the Buffalo Bills. Right. He went to Missouri University. He's from the Ohio area. Right. It's my guy, man. Sorry, Brad. So through Brad, the Bevel Connect came. Okay. So once Bevel's really good. You know what I mean? They researched me. They see all the work I was doing as far as entertainment industry. So, they kind of like, pulled me along. Right. So when they were doing like campaigns for their... Yeah, they did a big campaign with interviews with influential barbers. And they looked me up and I did an interview with Andre, I believe. Andre. I don't think he's there, no. I know you're talking about. That's one of the guys that worked for Tristan. Photographer and But they're really good. But they ain't sent me no clippers, so I'm a little tight, man. Tristan. If you listening, Tristan, Kamal of Levels Barbershop, he needs a pair of clippers. Yeah. We're pumping the brand on Barber World TV now. You feel me? My man need the T-blade. You need the old ones, the ones somebody sent back that y'all fixed. Yeah. At least come and be on the show. One of them. Oh, yeah, Tristan. If you don't want to send me no clippers, come and be on the show. Man. That'll work too. Yeah, we got my man Kamal, man. You got a lot of nice barbershops. And he got 7 barbershops. And one school. I'll let your boy. And I've been... I'll let your boss. And I told Bevel before to use this concept. They should sponsor a school. Yeah. Because they're influential now. Right. So... And kids stick with whatever they get in their kits. That's right. So it's like, yo, you need to represent a school to move your brand, because they got the whole shaving kit and things of that nature. And I'm like, true. Like you should partner with a school and put your stuff in their kits. Right. Because, what I mean? They did give out the best... samples at the last BarberCon. That gift bag was kind of light, but Bevel did put some quality stuff in there. Everything. I mean, when they first started, it was heavy. They was giving out the whole shaving kit, with the razor and the safety razor and the products and stuff. Now, now everything's a budget now. You know what I'm saying? So they blowing up. So you might get a sample something, just go. Their website is awesome. I mean, their connections, their brand is dope, though. Their brand is dope. Is there still a wait to get those the trimmers? There was a wait initially. I believe so. I guess they only printed up a certain amount. Okay. You know what I mean? To be sold. So, they sold out of them real quick. You know what I mean? Then was an issue with the blade issue. Right. So it was kind of like a backlash that they had. With the clipper. Right. So, he had to kind of he's a very smart brother, so he had to reboot. Right. Another strategy. Now they have the T-blade. The T-blade is dope. That's like the T model. They like the Tesla. The Tesla. The trimmers. That's exactly. That's what they want to be. That's exactly what they are. They are the Tesla of the clipper. I could dig it. Yeah, I appreciate that. Like you say, he hires photographers from all over their brand. So you might see me pull up in Times Square cutting hair for Bevel, testing the clipper out, taking some pictures and stuff like that. Right. I like doing it because, of the culture. No question. Anything dealing with barbering, preferably. Yeah, you represent the culture. I represent the culture. Right. Preferably Philadelphia. I'm from Philly. Yeah. So when you think of barbering in Philadelphia, my name pops up first. You know what I mean?
are you affiliated? How are you affiliated with Nori and Major League?
That's my guy right there.
Okay.
They were always dope. Their barbershop was called Wild Styles.
Okay.
So they was like influential with all the different colors and your hair in the 90s.
Right.
Different parts and all that and your name in your head. I ain't never really never do none of that.
Right.
Down in my area where I'm from, South Philly, person just wanted a nice haircut, nice line, maybe a hook part, and a part.
Right.
These guys was doing freaky stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, I never really got accustomed to doing that or learning it. You know what I mean? Because where I was from, I was just like, just trapped.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I never learned it, but that was just like always like really dope though. But Nori, Wes, and Najee, they're really dope and influential for stepping outside their box as far as barbering and taking barbering on the road, being from Philadelphia.
No doubt. What's your opinion of the state of barbering right now?
My opinion, the state of barbering, it's no how should I say it? No honesty. You know, people just being honest.
Elaborate on that.
With themselves. You know, just...
Is it because of social media, you think?
Nah. You know, jealousy, envy. You know, like if this person put you where you want to be in life or take you from where you from.
Right.
And groom you. And you know that person, what that person did for you.
Right.
You're supposed to honor that person.
Right.
No matter what.
You mean like your mentors?
If I'm somebody's mentor, if I give you an opportunity,
right.
No matter if we should have, you know, a fallout or something like that,
of course.
you should honor that person.
You're
like that man or that woman saved my life.
Yes.
Like to the day, I still talk to my mentor. We give or take 30, 31, 32 years.
Right.
It's been my friend.
Right.
I still go past his shop.
I don't see mines all the time, but you know, one time I was putting together a barber battle at the show in Jersey, and my mentor, my teacher was there, Mr. Gene Walker, and I brought him on stage.
I think I was there,
and I let everybody know that.
I think I was there.
Yeah, because in that time he really helped me transition from a kid at home to a kid in the shop. And taught me the things that I couldn't figure out on my own at home.
And a lot of guys like that, they be good father figures.
Yeah.
Especially if your father's not in the home.
Yeah. I was fortunate to have a father in the home, but you can have more than one father figure.
No, you definitely can. I mean, you definitely can. Like, you know, there's one gentleman also that's real influential in Philadelphia with barbering. I don't know if you'd heard his name, Maximilian.
Maximilian. I'm not familiar with
Max
that.
is pretty dope as well. He's like the only black man still in Center City. Philadelphia.
Right.
At 64 years old.
Wow.
With a shop.
Wow.
Did
so there's a lot of gentrification there. Is that what you're saying?
In Center City?
Yeah.
That's always been our downtown.
Okay.
So, you know, he's been up there for about 25 years.
So his skill level is all
Yeah. But he's an old time. He's 64, but he's like the grandfather of barbering in Philadelphia.
Okay.
So, you know, he's been cutting since the 60s. You know, 60s. You know, he's 64.
Wow.
So, you know, he's been cutting since the 60s, 70s. You know, with the S curls and all that stuff. Like, you know, he been through the levels.
Yeah,
you
for
know
sure.
I mean? But you know, he still cut hair at 64 years old.
Wow.
And you know, he cut a lot of businessmen.
Right.
You know, he cut a lot of professional people, businessmen. And his name is still pretty big.
Maximilian.
All
right. Maybe we can get him on the show too.
Yeah, I get Max up here. Max got some stories, man.
I know.
That's my guy, man. He knows about all the... I could take barbering from the 90s to current.
Right.
But he can go back 60s, 70s, 80s, you know.
That's like Willie Morrow, you know.
Right. Like he's a legend, man. He's a legend of cutting hair. And he knows everything.
Okay.
And it's kind of shocked me. Like I always heard of Max. Like who is he?
Right.
But he was a hairstylist turned barber.
Right.
So he did a lot of women's hair too.
Right.
So he turned barber. So now you use the chemicals.
So his skill was crazy.
Yeah. So you know he's still old school rule. Like ain't no rent no booth, rent no chair in his shop.
Yeah. I understand that.
He's still 60-40 or he do a 33 and a third. Like he got old school. I said, Mr. Max, I'm not working at your shop right now. I'm sorry. I love you, brother.
I mean that when I started, I was on 60-40 too. You know?
But he do the scale and like he's still old school. You know what I mean?
But it's the best way to do it. Really?
Yo, come on, listen. I'm about to hire 2 new cats. I'm doing percentage.
Yeah, it's the best way to do it.
doing
Really,
percentage.
I mean,
percentage.
you should get a percentage of everything that's cut in your store. Now
Yes.
the culture have changed, and it's
To
hard
booth rental.
to instill that in some locations. But
yeah, but you
it is
turn,
the way to do.
It
business.
is that's the way to do business. Percentages, and also, man, you turn people into little devils. You know what I mean? The pups.
Yeah,
They grow fangs.
yeah,
Especially with booth rental.
yeah. Because
And
everybody's worried about.
they'll bite you.
Yeah, they're
You know what
worried
I'm saying?
about.
Because they'll
Getting their money.
they'll see what you're doing, and they'll try to redo what you're doing.
Right.
Like they'll take 2-3 guys from the shop, move down the street,
Yeah,
and
I've had that happen.
and open up, and that's what I mean. That's the part
take the whole shop.
they take the whole shop. They would, and then you maybe one person, just
have to
being
rebuild. I've done that. I had to rebuild.
rebuilt. Right, me
But
too.
what I started to do is make people sign non-complete
Contracts.
complete clauses,
And-
so they could, they wouldn't be able to move
to
within a
move
certain
without
amount.
right,
Yeah.
and you know something. As a funeral director down in Philadelphia, where I'm from, South Philly, Charlene Wilson, and she told me the same exact thing.
Yeah.
You should sign contracts with these guys.
Right,
Disclosures that they can't do certain things.
right.
Because I have had that done, and one person, she got a barbershop up the street from me now.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I ain't worried about it. Like it's,
You could have a little respect and go, 10 blocks or
10
something.
blocks or so
These
like that,
dudes went right up the street on the same block and think that there was nothing wrong with that.
But there's something wrong with that.
And took all the barbers in there. It's like a uprising or something.
Right.
But they failed, and then one of them cheated the other guy out of a space, and it's like, you're building you're building something on
False
unstable
sense.
ground, unstable ground.
it's
So
false.
it's going to crumble.
It's gonna crumble.
Yeah.
But that's why I lean a lot on faith, to be honest with you.
Right.
So that you can go ahead down the street, go ahead down the block, do what you're going to do. I'm happy for you because I know I'm not going nowhere.
Right.
I'm going to be here.
So what led you? You're a Muslim,
Yes.
correct? So what led a young man growing up in a Christian household? How have you transitioned from that to Islam, and how does that help you or affect you being a barber?
I mean, it has helped me a lot. As far as being a young man, prefer because I took Shahada, and that's the Islamic ritual. You take faith oath to become a Muslim, a believer.
Right.
Like 1993. So I was a young man, 13, 14 years old, and I needed some stability.
Right.
So actually, my neighbors, maybe about down the middle of the block, they were really big, followers of Islam.
Right.
So I always hung with them.
Right.
And got taught the culture. Was pretty much it's praying 5 times a day.
Right.
I didn't really get that in the church. I just know we just go to church once a week and Bible study and but when the troubles came, in the streets, I needed something that was a little bit more firmer.
Right.
To keep me focused.
Right.
Islam has kept me focused.
Right.
Through the years. And also with barbering. A lot of people started to respect myself, respect me more. I just love it. Like it helps me.
Right.
It keeps me going.
Right.
Like my establishment.
So what do you have on your calendar coming up?
That's something, man. Like I'm getting a lot of looks. I just did Made in America.
Right.
This past the 1st and the 2nd of September. Jay-Z's annual concert in the Parkway, Philadelphia.
Right.
I got blessed to work with Abercrombie and Fitch.
All right. Abercrombie. Right.
Abercrombie, that was just like huge.
Big company.
Like, I always heard of them.
Right.
But it's more so for the Caucasian male.
Right.
But for them, they researched me. They looked me up. Hey, we got an event going on. This was the ad agency.
Right.
We got an event going on in the Parkway. We need a barber.
Right.
And we hear that you the guy.
So did it have anything to do with their clothes, or they just set up a booth and gave free haircuts?
How I believe, we were doing free haircuts for the concert goers.
Right. Okay.
I mean, it was a smooth setup they had. So pop-up shop.
Right.
Pop-up shops are very popular now.
Yes.
And they had a smooh pop-up shop. They had a retail store.
And they had barbers and stylists in there.
We had barber stylists. So myself personally, I got hired.
Right.
So they said, you're going to need, some troops.
Right.
So, I said, I got to get individual with license for one.
Right.
I know what they want. Barbers with insurance.
Right.
So I had my guys in my shop.
Right.
But, they pretty much don't have that.
Right.
So I had to reach out to people that had that. Kyle Bullock is really dope. He's over in Williamtown, New Jersey.
Right.
He do all the crazy colors in the hair.
I know Kyle. We're going to have Kyle.
Yeah, Big Kyle, that's my guy, man. So,
I
had to have him. That's my guy. And, he has never really built on a big platform before.
Right.
That Kyle does all the crazy designs. So,
I know. Beautiful work.
Yeah, so I had to have Kyle, Miss Thursday Pharrell. Thursday's dope. Thursday, one of the first individuals who told me personally, she said, when are you going to go out to teach barbering?
Right.
I said, Thursday, like, who am I? I can't teach no barbering. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just cut hair.
Right.
She influenced me to, go outside of Philadelphia and go get it, young man.
That's right.
That's what she told me, go get it. So, I had to have her. Another young lady, I had Natasha Somalia. She's very popular in Philadelphia with women's hair.
Okay.
So, it's a few other people. Who else I had? Another gentleman came up from down south to visit me. His name's Sean, and he had his license and his insurance and stuff like that. So they had to sign waivers and stuff. Because they dealing with people here.
Right.
So it was 2 days. That was one day. Second day, I had a woman named Jay. She's an Asian woman. And she had her own shop like 2 blocks from me, and she was influential to me, cutting straight hair.
Right.
So I would go watch her. She's an Asian woman, 50-something years old, and she's really dope. But she never did these things.
Right.
So I said, Jay, I'll put you on a platform where you want to be, so people can see your skill.
Right.
So she killed it too.
Right.
There's a bunch of pictures online.
I saw some of it.
Yeah, we got covered by a lot of media outlets, man. I had like 6, 7 interviews. And just being with the roots and hanging with the roots and hanging in the entertainment industry, I pretty much know how to handle myself and,
seasoned.
And I'm seasoned.
Yes.
Do interviews and stuff like that. Plus, it was like a really, really good look for Abercrombie and Fitch.
Right.
It was more so, like I said, it's catered to the Caucasian male.
Yeah.
So my belief, as I'm doing business, I'm hearing that they took top sponsorship from Rock Nation, Jay-Z's, entertainment company, to help partner and headline that show.
Right.
And they did the damn thing.
Right.
I guess they want to get into the urban setting.
Right.
Abercrombie and Fitch, which is a good deal.
Yeah.
If they decide to do that, is a great deal.
It always amazes me how, we've done some stuff like that in the past, that people really are eager. Out of all the booths that are set up at these type of events, the haircut booth is always popping. The line is like super long.
We did barbering is so influential. So I'm I cut a lot of Caucasian males that week and listen to their stories and stuff like that, man. And they have no life different from blacks. That's right. At all. In the barbershop is where you hear these stories at. Right. So I did that, which was wildly successful. Pray to God, something comes out of that.
Right.
Going forward with the company that I would like to happen.
Right. What you got coming up next?
Where I'm at next, I wasn't actually going to go to Vegas, but I think I had to cancel. I just had a newborn, so I might still.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
Family man.
Yeah, family man. Been married for 11 years. 2 daughters. 3 daughters. My wife, my 3rd daughter. So just family. So I might probably cancel. That's Jay's Mayweather Barber.
Yeah, I'm going out there.
Yeah, so, it's still open, but I may skip that. I might just catch something else, but. I'm doing Denver, Denver, Colorado. Okay. October 7th, 2018. October 7th. Okay. A guy named Dane. He's having an event out in Colorado. I got a lot of fanfare out there. Yeah. I never knew that. Okay. The Mile High, city. So I'm like, I'm going out to represent Philadelphia.
All right. Well, tell Dane and make a little way for me. I'll come.
Oh no, we got you. No, we got you. Trust me. Wherever I go, now I know you got this cool little backhead. Yeah. I'm going to recruit some people for you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you.
I'm doing that. Then Major League. As well. They are up and they're Minnesota. It's the first time that they're doing Minnesota. Right. I was influential in getting that show in Minnesota. All right. Minnesota, one of my favorite.
I got to be there as well.
Yeah, Minnesota, one of my favorite places.
Why is that?
The Mall of America, man. You been there yet?
No, I
Come on.
I've heard of it.
This is the Mall of America, your table.
Right.
Miniature.
Right.
Is that huge.
So I've heard.
Roller coaster, Ferris wheel, all that. All the stores, everything. It's their biggest attraction. Plus, my birds was won a Super Bowl there. You know what I'm saying? I got blessed to go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, nice.
I had did some work for Bevel at Target. They had a showcase.
Okay.
So I went out there and worked, and I got blessed with some tickets to go to the game. So it was a huge weekend. This year, won a bowl, and I worked for Bevel at one of their partners, Target. It's a corporate event that was really huge, and went to the game. I know all the barbers in Minnesota. They know me. Wow. So, I got a lot of love to that Midwest.
Yeah, I see you got a strong following on social media.
It's almost 60-something thousand followers. I ain't got 100 like, some of the other guys, but, I got 60-something genuine people
that's crazy.
that follow me and show me love.
That's crazy.
I answer everybody back in my direct message.
Right.
Some people like, I didn't think you was going to answer. And I'm like, shit. I'm answering whoever
That's going to make you stay a follower,
question.
Right?
If you stay a follower, people just jump in place to place.
Yeah.
So, I answer everybody back, man.
That's
everybody.
good.
I like
That's
talking
good.
to people.
Right.
I'm a people's person.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
So, in closing, tell people how they can get in contact with you.
One more show I'm doing, too.
Okay.
I'm doing Miami as well.
Miami.
Mr. Mike, Top Cutters.
Okay.
It's a big brand down in Miami, Florida.
Okay.
So, I got invited. I'm headlining an event for them down there.
And when is that?
The 28th or 29th, whatever that Sunday is in October.
Okay.
That's pretty cool. It's dope. So,
dope.
I'm going to hook my man up, Kamal, with all these cats,
That's
man.
right.
Because they need to know about not only Levels Barbershop, but Kamal. Kamal's a really good guy.
No doubt. So tell people how they can get in contact with you.
You can get in contact with me, my phone number is all over the internet. I'm going to give you my cell phone number. That's the number everybody calls me on. It's 215-432-5139. That's my shop. Mobile. That's my mobile number. But my shop is 215-271-7098. I had that number for about 21 years. So you can still call it. I'm going to still answer the phone.
And on social media?
Social media, you can on Twitter and Instagram, it's Barber1. Facebook, Faheem Alexander. You can follow me at these places. I'll answer you back, baby. You know what I mean? I'm not no Hollywood cat. You know what I'm saying?
Well, thanks for coming down to Barber World TV and spending some time, man.
I appreciate you having me, man. If we had time to do a second interview, I'd do it. But they got a beautiful shop upstairs, so I might just go hang out at the shop. Man.
Yeah.
If you get a walk-in to come in, sorry, Kamal, I got to cut them. And
it's all good,
you
man.
You have your percentage.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
No, thank you for having me, man.
Thank you. Thank you for coming, man.
And I'm honored, to see what you got going on.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
All right. Peace.
Thank you.
I've been cutting these heads for years. It made me a master. There's rules to this shit to get money faster. A cut by cut booklet for you to get your game on track.